So this is a presentation on the Environmental Health Program that's part of the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services. This presentation was created and presented by myself, Jennifer Blum. An introduction. So this organization focuses on environmental health, and they relate people, the environment, and their health. In addition to that, the environmental health applies to the practice of assessing and controlling factors in the environment that can potentially impact people's health. The population that they serve obviously would be the people that live in New Hampshire and visitors and travelers that travel through into the state. In regards to that, you could go as far as saying that the population served extends to other states and even countries. If you think about it, neighboring states are impacted by the environment of other states since water and air, etc. travels. The mission of the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services is to help sustain a high quality of life for all citizens by protecting and restoring the environment and public health in New Hampshire. They basically aim to protect the environmental health and public health of people. What does this environmental health program do? They have three focus areas, which are risk assessment, toxic air pollutants, and environmental health education. The first would be the risk assessment, and they determine problem areas, help determine what needs to be done, if current policy is up to date, and the impacts of a particular issue on the health of the population. And the toxic air pollutants, in regards to that, they regulate hazardous air pollutant emissions as well as over 800 regulated toxic air pollutants which have a health-based risk to humans. The aim of this regulatory program is to protect public health and the environment by establishing ambient air limits and requiring businesses in this state to reduce their emissions of any of the regulated toxic air pollutants such that they don't impact the downwind air quality at levels that may exceed the ambient air limits. And lastly, but definitely not least, the environmental health education. They compile information in different forms such as fact sheets, presentations, posters, and more, as well as programming to convey important messages the public should know about their environment and how to protect their health. In relation to the essential public health services from this week, I chose inform, educate, empower, and develop policies. For education, this organization creates a lot of educational material to help the public make better choices for their health. One example is a brochure regarding fish, its health benefits and risks, and how to make choices to reduce exposure to chemicals in fish, such as mercury. In terms of policy, they develop policies and plans that support individual and community health efforts. An example from this organization includes preparing for climate change, a strategic plan to address the health impacts of climate change in New Hampshire. So they take the kind of worldwide impacts of climate change and scale it down to how it's going to impact the people and the environment in their state and develop a plan and goals and how to achieve their goals. And that's a big piece of what they do is kind of develops these policies to inform people and legislatures and the community about what needs to be done and how it will get done. This is the organization website and the images on the slides in order of the slides.